What's going on, my natives? It's your man Dalen here, and today I'm going to teach you how to take your eyes from 0 to 100 native real quick using the free app Facetune, available both in the iOS and Android app store. Stay face-tuned if you want to see how to do this. Alright, so let's just dive on into this real quick. Just in time for Halloween, you can achieve some really cool looks without even wearing contacts or nothing like that if you just want to use photos on Instagram. Now, there's a few things you can do with this, and it's actually unlimited to what you can do with it. The first thing you should always start off with, if you want it to make it look natural, is using the natural eye color that you've already got. That's going to look the best and the easiest to do as well. So what you're going to want to do first is definitely use the details tool around your eye to bring out the color of it naturally. So for me, I'm going to zoom right in. Mine looks pretty flat brown, but when I go over that with the details tool, go over it a bunch, you can see there's quite a big difference in how it pops. Now here's a little tip. Hit the check mark on the top right so it saves it, and then do it all over again. Do that at least twice to really bring out that color. Scrub it up, dub. Now you can really start to see all the colors in that palette in my natural eye. So one thing you want to be wary of is all the highlight spots in my eye, like there, down there, all that stuff that needs to stay there untouched, because that's the light, that's natural lighting. It's going to match up with the lighting that's on my face. You can clearly see that this half of my face is lit up more than that half, and that's because the light's coming from that side, which is where that reflection is coming from. So for that all to look natural, it all needs to stay untouched. So don't mess with the highlights in your eye. Always leave those the way they are. If anything, brighten them up a little bit. Now in my eye, I want to make it green because I just fell in love with green eyes after seeing Leonardo DiCaprio in Titanic. It was just ever since then I've wanted them. So lucky for me, in here, there are some green tones, as you can see, down there and all the way around. You can kind of pull some out of there. So here looks like there's going to be a few green pixels that I can actually pick from. So open up your tones tool. Now hold your finger down. You can see the palette in the bottom right there changing color. Try and find one that's the most green. I'm going to tap. Now you can't see this on here, but you're going to tap the color in. You're not actually going to rub it in. Tap and go all the way around, and it'll tap that color in for the most part fairly well. Just so you know that Facetune is a pressure sensitive app, or 3D touch sensitive, so the harder you press, the more color it's going to apply. Alright, so I tapped in a fair bit of that color. I zoom out, you can see it's quite a bit more green now. Save that, take that same tones tool. Now we have a lot more green to pick from. Select a brighter green or a more closer tone to what you're looking for, and continue on tapping that color in. Now I'm actually starting to brush a little bit because I want to really add that green. Oh, that's too much there. Let's see how it looks. Zoom out, look at that, I'm getting a lot more green showing in my eye there. That actually looks really cool. And so that's how I would add the green tone of color to my eye. Now if you'd want to add a different color to your eye, I would still go in, do the details tool over it. So here's my other eye here. Detail that out. Check that off. Alright, now you're going to want to go to your tones tool. Pick the color you want your eye to be. So let's try going blue this time. Now don't go too harsh of blue, it'll be too noticeable. So go somewhere right here, for example. And once again, just tap that color in. Very subtle, don't overdo it. All right, now to get this blue in there, I'm actually gonna brush from the pupil outwards and do lines all the way around. See, as you can tell, the green looks a lot more natural because it came out of my actual eye color. The blue doesn't look as natural. It doesn't look terrible, but it just doesn't look nearly as good, in my opinion anyways. Or you can make it whatever color you like, I'm sure, as long as you're happy with it. And I got one green eye and one blue eye. That's how you do a different color that's not natural with the colors that are already toned into your eyes. All right, now seeing as how Halloween is coming up, we can also do the entire blackout of the eye. And to make that look natural, the key is not to color the whole thing in black, but to leave the highlights alone, like I said before. So you can zoom in on your eye, and what I do, in my opinion is gonna work best, is take your tones tool and pick the tone of black out of your pimple. Don't just pick black from the palette because that's unnatural. This is really dark, so it probably won't be that much of a difference, but in the grand scheme of things, you'd really like to keep the colors that are in the photograph so that they're a little bit more consistent. If you go way too out of the realm of what your color is, then it looks unnatural. And then from here, just like I said before, stop brushing in around, but make sure you go around all the little highlights because you need those. So go around each and every one that you can find, and then just start filling in the rest of your eye from there. Now I'm sure, as you can tell, I've done a terrible job with my edges, but that's okay, because once it's all blacked out, what I'm gonna wanna do is take the eraser tool, make sure I'm not going over my highlights at all, go inside each highlight and erase in there, erase out every single one, and then go around the eye and clean up all the edges all the way around. And there, that's basically a little before and after of the blackout eye look. Now, if you're not happy with how transparent it kind of looks because it doesn't quite cover everything up, you can just hit the check mark and redo the tones over like that part there where you can see the exterior of my eye. But I think that looks pretty good in the sense of the blackout eye. It's got that scary kind of True Blood look to it. All right, and for my last trick, it's going to be the cat eyes or different shapes of your eyes. Now, if I select the color from inside my pupil, that should look the most natural. It is looking a little blue, but let's see here, pick that, use my tones tool, and just brush it in, or any shape that you really want. Cat eye is just a really common one for Halloween costumes, right? It's looking really blue. So you know what? I'm actually going to go to the palette and pick a true black color and do that instead, because they're supposed to be black, not blue. Put that in. Don't forget, you can always erase the stuff if you go over. Remember not to cover your highlights. Don't ever cover your highlights. And there's that. You know what? That's looking really skinny because my pupil was really small. Is that a bright light on me? I'm gonna make it bigger. And there we go. There's a cat eye pupil. Looks like a contact lens you could wear. You could legitimately do this with anything though, with any eye. Try the tones tool over here on my natural eye color. There, now I got one on each eye. So that's 3 different ways that you can change your eye color, the shape of the pupil, the whole color of the entire eye wall, just in time for Halloween. You guys can have a whole lot of fun uploading cool selfies to Instagram and trip out all your friends with your dope fake contacts that don't even exist. So I just wanted to say thank you all for watching. Throw me a thumbs up if you like this video. Tweet me some suggestions at Dale and Gerard. Subscribe for a good time, and happy Halloween. Talk to you in the next one. Peace.